Christopher freaking Columbus. There's a statue to Christopher freaking Columbus. They forgot to put the word freaking in Belgrave Square. Belgrave Square, a private square, quite close to the boundary of Buckingham Palace, around the back. These are private gardens. Not for the residents necessarily, but for the embassies. As this place is filled with those who have diplomatic immunity. It's got lots of bods wandering around with nice looking briefcases, no doubt working with diplomats. I was speaking to those guys earlier on. They're here with some kind of protest for trying to work on human rights so that people have the ability to choose whether or not they get circumcised later on in life rather than having it when they're babies. And I was asking them, whether or not they got permission to protest here, and they said, of course, yes, because you're not allowed to protest here unless you have permission. That's the embassy of Bahrain. Now I'm going to try and slowly make my way around, avoiding all the bods. Slowly making my way around to the Syrian embassy. Now of course, the Bahraini embassy is on one side of Belgrave Square, the Syrian embassy is on the other. Two countries actually that have been accused of human rights violations, except of course one of them being Bahrain, that's supported and actually armed by the West. Syria, of course, they're arming the opposite side, or they hope to do that quite soon. Check this out. Private. All dogs must be registered with Grosvenor. Now, Grosvenor, that is talking about Gerald Grosvenor, who's the current Duke of Westminster. He is the richest Englishman in England, and there's a reason for that. The whole of this area called Belgravia, and also there's an area called Mayfair, which you may have heard of. The whole of that area is privately owned by the Grosvenor family. Not many people realise this. This is a hot fact. If you're into historical facts, a hot fact for you is that the American Embassy in central London, which is not too far from here, is the only American embassy on the planet. Somebody with a Ferrari. I wonder where he's off to. The American Embassy in central London in Mayfair is the only American embassy on the planet that is not on American soil, meaning that America were not allowed to actually buy the land. Every other American embassy on the planet, the Americans have actually bought the land. They haven't done that in London. The reason being that they're not allowed to buy it. They have to rent it. And that is actually true for all of the embassies here in Belgrave Square. Quite nice architecture. But none of these countries are allowed to actually purchase the land. They have to rent it from the Grosvenor family, which is probably explains why the Grosvenor family are a little bit wealthy. They've actually been in this country for, since 1066. They came over with William the Conqueror. They were one of the initial conquerors of England. This is again inside the private gardens. So really I'm not really allowed to film around here. I'll do it anyway. There's a policeman over here. I'll say hello to him as I go past, see what happens. See, the reason I came down here with my camera today is because I was wandering around here yesterday, and I was talking to the officer, the police officer outside the Syrian embassy, and He told me some interesting things, but I didn't have my recording device on me, so I'm going to give it a good other go, see what happens. I believe that's Turkey, is it? Turkey? I haven't got a clue what these ones are over there. There's a nice looking police officer. No filming.
Yeah, no, what are you filming?
Oh, I'm just a tourist.
Oh, you're a tourist from where?
What do you mean, from where?
A tourist from where? You're a tourist, so where are you from?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
On the planet?
No. Okay, right, let's start again. This is a very sensitive area.
Okay, yeah. Do you want me to stop filming?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
At the moment, while I'm talking to you, I'll just establish what you're doing at the moment, and then we'll see the other.
I'm just exploring London.
Okay, where are you from? That's what I was asking you.
I'm from England.
Okay, you're a tourist.
Well, I'm touring about. I've never been here before. I was having a look around.
Okay, so what area are you from?
You're being rather intimidating.
No, I'm being very professional.
Okay. What area am I from? I'm from North London.
Right, okay. I'll tell you again, because we've got an attitude at the moment between you and me.
No, sorry, I apologise if I'm giving you an attitude.
Right, remember the diplomatic protection group, and we're here to check promises.
I don't really know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm trying to explain to you. If you listen,
is it because all the embassies are around here?
If you listen to what I'm saying to you,
yeah, sure.
then you'll understand what I'm saying. We look after the buildings, okay, so very sensitive, around this location.
I was just going to ask you what that was. You're not going to tell me?
No, I can tell you exactly what it is.
Okay, yeah.
When you are filming, because we do anti-terrorism, we stop people and find out what they're doing, and filming sensitive buildings and stuff like that. And that's why I'm asking you. When you said I'm a tourist, I went, oh, so where are you from? And you went, I'm from England. I know you're from England, but if you said I'm from up north or wherever, okay, fine. I would have just said, enjoy it. You said you're from North London. What is your project you're doing at the moment?
I'm not really doing a project.
So what are you doing?
I'm just wandering about. Seriously, I didn't know this was a sensitive thing. I mean, that's yeah. I guessed that one. I was wondering what that one was over there.
That's an IP. That's a publishing company.
Oh, right. Okay.
Have you ever been stopped by the police before?
No.
No, never.
No.
Okay, so what were you actually doing? If you like to show me what you're actually doing?
What, you mean show me what's on here?
Yes.
Why do you want to see it? I'm just wandering around. I saw those guys. I'm looking at these. I was interested in this. I'm just interested in learning about London. I'm wandering around. I've been watching the horse guards up down Buckingham Palace, and then I came through from Knightsbridge, and I wandered through here, and I found myself here. I saw all the flags. I saw a little protest over there, and I wondered what was going on. If you're telling me I'm not allowed to film here, I stop filming here. There's no problem.
I just want to see if it's purely innocent. If it's not purely innocent, then I'll have to discuss it a bit further.
Do I look like I'm guilty of something?
What does a terrorist or what does a criminal look like? What does a terrorist or what does a criminal look like?
I don't know. I've got a clue. That's your job.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Your job. Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing at the moment.
I'm not a terrorist.
Right, okay. Well, can you show me what you're actually filming?
Well, you have no right to see it. I mean, if you want to see it. You were part of it, weren't you?
Yeah.
I'm filming the flag.
Okay, no, yeah. Alright.
I'll show you what I was filming. There you go, I'm just filming the horse guards earlier on.
Okay.
And the policeman riding the horse up and down.
Okay.
And then they wandered through to here.
Right, because I've spoken to you, okay, I can actually give you a paperwork to say that I've spoken to you.
I have no idea. I have no interest in paperwork.
Okay.
I'm a happy fellow.
Yes.
I'm just wandering around. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't think if I recorded the audio for that bit I just did in between, but it's fucking terrifying around here, I have to say. What I was trying to say is that I actually came down here yesterday from but I didn't have my camera with me, and I was talking to the guy outside the Syrian embassy, and he actually told me that he didn't think that that will be the Syrian embassy for too much longer, which I thought was very enlightening. He also said that it will become the embassy for the transitional council, of Syria. What does that mean? Well, we don't know, of course. A lot of stuff going on with Syria at the moment, especially in terms of the whole spectre of chemical weapons. Interestingly, of course, I'm sure you've heard about it, but because there was a investigation into whether or not Syria had actually used chemical weapons, and they assigned the UN Commission for Investigations, they found, of course, that it was actually the rebels using chemical weapons and not the Syrian government. And of course the US government say they don't recognise that information. So this has been Samuel William signing off, slightly terrified.